Alright. So this is an Arccaptain arc welder. I've never heard of that brand before, but I know this is a cheaper option for arc welding, but I'm new to it, so. See what we got here. Ground and the stick. Wow, this thing is very big. That's crazy how small that is. Wow. That can't weigh more than a pound and a half, 2 pounds maybe. Never ceases to amaze me how cheap things can be manufactured these days. That's funny. We got power unit. This didn't come with it. This was ordered separately. This is a 220 volt extension. I don't have 220 in my garage, but I do have it in my house for my dryer, I think. So I can unplug that and plug this in and then run it all the way out my back door of my house and plug it into the welder. This is a ground. Seems to be pretty good. And this is, and I'm new to arc. I don't know what all this stuff is called, but this is your deal that you put your arc stick in. User manual that is not very big. And this, I'm not really sure. I guess on the back of the unit it has standard 110. So I guess you plug that in and it converts it into 220. And then a really cheap wire brush. Not exactly sure what this is on the back. No idea. Probably won't use that anyway. And then this looks to be a handle or a strap, so you can put it through here and carry it, even though it has a handle on top of it. I also have some electrodes. That was the word I was looking for this. These are some 3/32, which I think are just good to start kind of learning with. Basically what I read online when I was looking at different electrodes. And then I stopped at Tractor Supply and I got these. I forget what you call this. Peening or something like that, where you kind of knock the slag off your weld when you're done. I don't know anything about arc, but Thought I'd have that. It's kind of similar to like flux welding, I think, where you have to knock a layer of slag or whatever off your welds. And then I got a stronger wire brush with a little scrapey deal on it. This was actually a gift from my brother. I have his MIG welder. It's an old handler. Works pretty good. Problem is I'm not too keen on welding inside of my garage because I have flammable stuff everywhere. And I don't like welding in here, so I weld outside, but then when I weld outside, usually it's pretty windy and it blows my cover gas away from the end of my nozzle. So I end up having bad welds and then I have to try it in here, and I don't know why, but I'm stuck on the idea that I want to make attachments for my tractor and possibly buy like a used mini excavator. Where I work, there's arc welding is the only kind of welding anyone does on our heavy equipment. So, and they do it outside in the wind and the rain and the snow and the sun, and seems to work pretty good for them. And it's something I just kind of wanted to learn how to do. And I didn't want to have a really expensive unit, so this is just kind of an introductory thing for me. This whole unit was not very expensive. In fact, I think this welder was $100. In fact, I think the extension cord was almost as much as the welder. I forget how long this is. I think it was 40 feet. So that should be more than enough to hook that up inside and then get it out back to plug into this. But I'm going to read through the instructions and see if this thing works. So the ground, it's funny, it calls this the earth clamp or ground. Pretty easy. And it calls this an electrode holder. I know there's got to be a more used term than that. I am completely new to this stuff. But I really want to get into welding more, doing more fabrication for all of my equipment and my projects and all that. And it also looks like you can use 110 for this as well, which is cool. Probably start with that before I do the 220. But I wanted 220 just so then if I was needing to weld some thicker material and need it to be hotter, then I could at least have it. Now I always thought you had to store these in some kind of temperature or humidity controlled deal. I have no idea if that's true or not. There we go. TIG, SYN, I don't know what that is, stick, electrode selection, not sure how to do that. 160 amps, so let's try 80. I don't know if I'm doing any of this right. I should really be reading the manual, but here's the electrodes I'm using, 3/32. I got this piece of kind of just scrap iron. I'm actually gonna cut all this stuff off of it because it's kind of heavy C-channel, and I'm actually gonna be making a rear blade for my sears over there with it. But I have to cut a bunch of stuff off and grind it off anyway, so I'm just gonna practice on this. Well, I shut the machine off. I'm just letting it cool. For one, I really shouldn't be welding inside like this. You really need ventilation. It's getting pretty smoky in here. And I shouldn't be on the ground either, with all the hot sparks and whatnot flying all over. If you put your hand in it or kneel in it, it'll burn you. But I did a weld there, a little bit there, drew some numbers on the, tried to close that gap. I didn't have the voltage right, and my technique is definitely pretty rusty, but yeah, it's weird because as it consumes, you got to move closer to it, and a little different than MIG, that's for sure. I'm not a good MIG welder, but I seem to have some trouble doing things with this that I can do with the MIG, but I need to mess with the settings more too. But it works pretty good. And it ain't, I mean, it works way beyond what I thought it would for the price that it is. I ordered metal to make a metal working bench that I'm going to put outside so I can weld more. I don't like welding in my garage. A lot of stuff in here I can start on fire, and so once I get all the materials for that, I'll actually probably build my bench with this welder, and then I'll be able to weld outside with it. And once I get better at it, I actually need to put some weld down on my tractor forks, weld it to the plate that it's on. So, but it's a pretty good unit, so I'll get some good use out of it.